In today's video, I want to start a conversation about what you guys are doing to try and get through this whole COVID situation. And I'll talk to you guys about some of the things that I'm doing to get through it myself. Hi friends, welcome back to So Obvious. I'm Apollinaire. We are now entering our second month into quarantine. And I'm sure like a lot of you guys, I am having some difficulties kind of getting used to it. Not being able to go out, not being able to get together with friends and family is kind of wearing me down on top of everything going on at work. Some of you guys know that as an activity director at a nursing home, I'm considered an essential worker. And because people are scared to come to work or just quitting and can't handle the stress right now, I am working probably more hours than what I usually do. Now, working at a nursing home, I don't deal with the same problems that a nurse or a doctor working in a hospital might deal with, but the problems that I do deal with in a nursing home every day are very detrimental, specifically to the staff there and the residents. Ever since we went on lockdown, residents can't see their family like they used to. They can't even get together in groups amongst themselves. Like most of our activities that we're doing right now are one-on-one, which means that the staff goes into their room and does the activity with them. The big closest thing we have to a normal activity is when we do like exercise or maybe even bingo in the hallway, but even then the residents stay at their doorways and they kind of have to shout to talk to each other. Situations like these can lead to like depression and sadness and lack of interest in residents, which will lead to their physical health also declining. And that's something that the staff at the nursing home that I work at and myself are working towards prevent. But it is very hard to accomplish that, which makes it that much more stressful for us, because I'm not gonna lie to you, ever since all this started, I feel like I am doing so much and running around like crazy and I'm accomplishing nothing. Where before I could have up to 20 residents come to one activity and we have multiple activities throughout the day, now I have to spend 10-15 minutes with this person, 10-15 minutes with that person. And when you have upwards of 74 residents in one facility and it's only me and one other staff member, it's really hard to get to everybody. Another reason why it's kind of hard to deal with this at work is because this is the time of the year where we have, we just had Easter, which the residents couldn't spend with their family. We have Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day coming up. We have Nurses Week, National Nursing Home Week coming up right after that, all within the next month and a half. And these are holidays that our residents usually spend in groups doing big activities because our facilities tend to spend a lot of money during these holidays. Now we can't do that. I have to find a way for us to do National Nursing Home Week while social distancing, which is going to be really hard. I think another thing that's kind of tough to deal with right now is that this is my first year as an activity director, and I kind of already don't know what I'm doing as it is. I mean, I know what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do, but I feel like I'm so fresh to the scene that I have a hard time making decisions because I feel like I might not know all the information correctly. But every activity director I've spoken to since this COVID stuff started, it feels like we're all in the same boat and none of us really know what to do. Therefore, we can't really depend on each other to kind of make things work. It makes it really stressful to feel like I'm just kind of doing this. It feels like I'm just pulling on my ass half the time. Thankfully, I have staff that are great support, not just my own staff, but the other department heads and the CNAs and nurses at the nursing home. They're very great supporting and they're very helpful. I also have an amazing consultant who has kind of walked me through a few of these problems. So I think in the end, everything's gonna turn out all right. It's just, I'm already an anxious person to begin with, and not knowing what to do on top of having that anxiety is making it so much worse. And then on top of that, I have to take into consideration that the CDC is changing the standards of how we're supposed to be treating the residents, what we wear as far as, can we wear cloth masks, can we wear the regular masks, are we supposed to wear N95 masks, that kind of stuff. Everything's changing so fast that I have like no time to get used to anything. I think something that kind of really hit my confidence just as a director was that I was so excited for National Nursing Home Week and Mother's Day and all that kind of stuff, because even though planning it out regularly is very stressful and it's a lot of work, but it is some of the most rewarding parts of being a director, is throwing parties for the families and the residents and kind of seeing them all enjoy it, kind of just seeing all your work pay off. I started planning for National Nursing Home Week like back in December. I didn't even know what the theme was. They didn't announce it till like January, but I was just like, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna do great. And I had like all these ideas, all these inspirational pictures for like backgrounds, how I want to decorate everything. And then it was like, when all this COVID stuff started happening, it was literally like all this work, these ideas that I had from Mother's Day, National Nursing Home Week, Father's Day, Easter. It was like, it just all got taken away from me. And it really did take the wind out of my sail for a little bit, because I felt like I got nothing. Like, what now? And I still feel like that a little bit, but the most important thing I can tell myself and tell you guys is just take it one day at a time, do what you can. I read something, and I can't remember who it was who said it. I don't remember the saying exactly, but the gist of it was, when you're in a situation like this, how unhappy you are depends on how much you try to change it. And how happy you are depends on how much you accept what you have and then work with what you have. So I guess that's what I'm trying to do, is just kind of, yes, we're all not supposed to be leaving our homes. I can't really go shopping, hang out with my family, that kind of stuff. Same thing with the residents. The residents shouldn't be getting together in groups, but it does give me a great chance to do a lot of one-on-ones with them, which means that even though I can only spend 10-15 minutes with each resident for a day, those 10-15 minutes are specifically for those residents. In a group, I don't have the chance to give each resident time specifically for them because they're in a group. Therefore, I have to try and give attention to everybody at the same time. One thing that I will say I'm very grateful for working in a nursing home is that even though I'm so worried about the residents and making sure that the residents get through this okay, every day the residents ask me how I'm doing, how I'm holding up, you know, making sure that I'm okay. And it's and it's kind of comforting to know that you have all those people who care about you and want to make sure that you are getting through this all right. Besides my friends and family as well, obviously. Now, even though work has been very, very stressful, I am trying to get back to doing things at home that kind of help relax and bring me just some sort of comfort. Obviously, I'm still sewing. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos of me making all those masks. I think as of last night, I'm on mask like 150 or something like that. And I want to give a shout out to my mom and my sister-in-law, Sierra, because they are helping me do this. They don't really know how to sew. My mom is scared of the sewing machine. She says she's going to learn how to sew, but we'll see. But it really does help just to have her pressing everything for me as I'm sewing, because then I don't have to take a step away from the machine, go over and press everything, and then come back to the machine and sew it again. Same thing with my sister-in-law. She was sewing a lot of the straps. She made a few of the masks herself, and she did a pretty good job. Another thing that I'm doing now is I'm getting back into playing video games. I actually have a Switch Lite that I hadn't played in quite a few months. The last time I played it was when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, and I played it for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then once I got to the end of the game, I got bored of trying to collect all the Pokemon, and then I just stopped playing. But because of everything that was going on at work, I felt like I couldn't turn my brain off. So even though I wasn't at work, I was still at home, laying in bed, thinking about work. And I just need to find a way for me to kind of just shut my brain off and do something that's mindless, and I don't have to really think about it. I actually spent quite a bit of money buying and downloading a few games for my Switch. And I say I play at least like an hour every day just to kind of help decompress. I think the biggest thing for me to kind of help decompress and get back into some sort of normal mentality is that I started to sketch again. As you guys know, I come from an art background. I'm not like a great artist, or at least I don't think I am. But growing up, I was that kid that would draw on every single surface he found. When my dad used to give us an allowance, he would give us like $5, $10, and I would always buy pencils, markers, and like a ream of computer printer paper, and then I would just sit there and draw and draw and draw. Like, my dad had like one of those encyclopedias for like A through Z. Every blank page in every single one of those encyclopedias had some sort of drawing that I had when I ran out of paper. Even though I'm not the greatest artist and I get so frustrated when my art isn't doing what I want it to do, like when you draw one eye and it looks amazing and then the other eye looks like it's doing crystal meth, it is still something that I can mindlessly do just because I've been doing it for so long that it just comes naturally to me. And even when I do make a drawing that is not my favorite, I can still say that during those 20 minutes that I spent sketching, I wasn't thinking about what's going on in the world. I wasn't thinking about what's going on at work. I wasn't thinking about what happens if I get sick and then I can't go to work for 2 weeks. I was only focused on making that sketch, and that's all I had to think about. Getting back into those old interests that you used to have, or still have and just haven't had the time to do, has helped so much in getting through this whole ordeal. I'm watching so many artists on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube who are like working on their art and bettering it and using this time away from work to focus on it. And I just got inspired. Here's one of the very first sketches that I did in my new sketchbook. I also drew this superhero lady. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post them on there. But no, yeah, this, and then just spending as much time as possible with my family has really helped, just kind of keep me sane. I think one thing that's very important is to be thankful for what you got. I think a lot of people are so focused on thinking about everything that you've lost. And we've lost a lot. We have. Even as an essential worker who still gets to go to work every day, I do feel like I've lost a lot. Things that I used to take for granted that now I'm just like, well, I can't go here, I can't go there, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm just trying to stay positive and thinking about the fact that I'm thankful that I still get to go to work every day. It's stressful and it's hard and it's irritating to see people not do social distancing and following the rules, which is just making this whole quarantine thing take longer. But I know that this would be a lot harder for me if I was home 24/7, not knowing where my next paycheck was coming from. Thankfully, I still have that steady job, those steady hours. I might be working more, but I'm working and it's at least giving me something to do for those 8 to 9 hours of the day. So let me know what you guys are doing to get through this time. I know it's hard. So make sure you leave a comment telling me what you're doing, or if there's any sort of sewing things that you guys want me to do so that you can work on that while you're in quarantine, because then that gives me something to do so that you have something to do for the future and we're just helping each other. If you have to go out in public and cannot keep your distance from other people within 6 feet, make sure you wear your mask, make sure you're washing your hands. If you decide to wear gloves, make sure that you're changing your gloves regularly, because if you're touching your face and then touching the table and touching everything on the table and then touching your face again, those gloves are not really doing anything other than collecting all the germs all over the place, and you're putting them on yourself. If you like today's video, make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. You can also follow me on Instagram on @apolylook. There, I post some of my upcoming projects and any videos that I'll be posting on here. If you didn't like today's video, then make your own video, then make your own channel and post it on there, since God knows we've got the time because we're not allowed to go anywhere. Okay, bye.